Five,
4, 3,
2.
2, 1. Play the theme music.
I want to start off uncharacteristically humble, and honestly, I think most apologies are beneath us. But in our attempts to push comedy and make the greatest show on earth every week, we sometimes tread on a few toes, and it's what it is. It's part of show business. But in the future, we'll be offending someone that we didn't really want to offend. Or maybe we did. I don't know.
I didn't mean to.
We brought Alex on the show again prequel before the. So here's Alex.
Hi.
Hey, I also want to.
I'm Alex.
Oh my gosh, I interrupted you already. This is not going well. I wanted to say sorry too. Yeah. And
That's not right.
I know. I was on the podcast after this.
Before after.
Yeah, in the pursuit.
Before after.
Yes, that one. In the pursuit of comedy, I was a bit out of my own character, if you will, and I just want to say sorry for being a misogynist.
We're a little highbrow.
We're much higher brow than that. Yeah. Anyways, thanks for coming on the pod with us. We appreciate you.
Yep.
And,
have a good time.
Yeah, how was your week?
It happened.
Okay, that's great.
True.
Steve, how was your week?
It was great. I've been really frustrated with a couple of things out there.
What happened?
So
what happened this week?
So I think this episode will come out way past this, so no spoil. It won't be spoilers. But One Piece, the Netflix adaptation, came out this week.
Right.
Fantastic.
It came out already?
Yeah, it's pretty good. I've only watched the first few episodes. It is. I'm a big fan of the anime.
I saw some of the previews. I don't know how I feel about it.
It's good. I'm a big fan of the anime and the manga, and so it's like restarting again. It's nice. It really is good. I am enjoying it. I don't know if other people would. I just know as a One Piece fan, it does make me smile. I have that like little kid smile to smile.
Yeah, and I want to say, because I don't want to knock it down without having seen it, and I'm behind on TV generally, and there's really no good reason why except for video games. But when Bebop came out, I thought Bebop was pretty decent.
It was all right.
I said it's obviously going to be different than the show, but I thought it was pretty good. And so people knocking down Bebop, I don't want to turn into one of them. So, okay.
Yeah.
So the One Piece show.
It was good. But anyways, that's not what I want to talk about. I just brought that up as an example. There's this thing Netflix does now in general, and they do these like mini seasons with hour-long episodes.
Where it's like 6 episodes, 8 episodes, something like that.
And Netflix isn't the only one that's doing this. Disney does it too, right?
Right.
And sometimes, if it's not like a show like One Piece where it's episodic, but it's more like The Witcher or on Disney Plus, like those Marvel shows and Star Wars shows, it really feels like just like they try to stretch out a movie at times.
I can agree with that. I can agree with that to a certain extent. The first is, it wasn't until Netflix that people like binged as hard as they did.
Right. Yeah, they kind of started the binge.
So I think they're kind of falling. They really push into that, and like it's not just Netflix; it's everybody. But it was almost sort of frustrating because it reminded me of being a kid. But when Disney Plus was doing Mandalorian episodes like every week or something like that,
right?
It was frustrating because the standard is now I'm going to throw out 8 episodes in an 8-hour block, and then you can watch all 8. But that really leans into the idea that you binge, and I don't really know what the right balance is. Maybe I don't know, Alex, Steve, but. On one hand, you can have 6 or 8 episodes, you could watch them all at once, but then you have a much longer amount of time before they're going to do any others.
Right.
Or they can space out the releases over a couple months. You have fewer time between that. I also think, and I miss this to a certain degree from old TV, as much as old TV really sucks sometimes, but old TV, like, you'd have a cliffhanger episode, and it really was more dramatic because you had to wait a whole other week until the next episode came out.
I know for me, I feel that the episode every week with no breaks, maybe like a week or two break, is so much more effective than throw it all out there and then wait over a year or more for the show.
Right.
Because it just feels like...
So I'm... Yeah. The only time it breaks down is... There's been a lot of shows that, like... Book of Boba Fett.
Okay, yeah.
I didn't care for Book of Boba Fett. The very end of Book of Boba Fett is really Mandalorian season, 2.5?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. The binge model would seem better serving to that because you're not waiting till the next week, and then the episode you've been waiting for all week has nothing to do with Boba Fett. It has something to do with
everybody
Mandalorian.
else, yeah.
Right, yeah. Imagine a Game of Thrones episode where they did some sort of mashup with a different character, a different like spin-off, House of the Dragon pulled back or something like that. Which is to say, no one should be watching Game of Thrones or House of the Dragon anymore. You need to punish studios for their shitty writing.
Those are so bad.
Yeah.
The last season didn't happen.
No.
It does not exist.
It really shouldn't.
You want to know, and I call it like on the spectrum creativity because it's not really sound creativity, but have you guys ever imagined a better ending to like Game of Thrones?
Oh, constantly.
And you turned around and said, this is such much better idea. I should have had that fucking job.
I believe, and this is, I do believe the writers deserve to get paid more for the writer's strike. Don't get me wrong.
Sure.
That being said, there's a lot of shitty writing out there. I mean, and I don't get how they got in there. That's my opinion! Anyways.
I just think a lot of people do the whole, they don't use enough of the, it was all a dream excuse. I'm fully into the idea
Not
that
enough of that, huh?
they do a really shitty season, and the very next season starts with Jon Snow waking up in the bed on the wall and going like, I had this crazy dream. I mean, I got married to this lady who had dragons, and now
it's a fantasy
world.
Plot
wipes?
Reset.
Yeah, reset that shit.
I would rather that than some of the other shit, honestly.
I agree. What were you gonna say, Alex, about plot?
Plot wipes? You want a plot wipe? Really? Just didn't happen.
Is it better to have the finality of something really awful, or to kind of indulge what's only going to be like a one episode? Like you're going to have one episode that's really focused. All of this starts off with that show Dallas, right, where they had like all these seasons, and then they basically erased all of them by having this lady say, "Oh, I had a really bad dream," blah, blah, blah. And they never talked about it again. I would rather deal with the cheesiness of that for a few minutes, because the next episode I'll be back on track with the shit I actually wanted.
I agree.
Like, let's bring in somebody else who cares more about the show. And this is a hard thing because you never want to pan too much to the fans, right?
No.
Because the fans are always going to be very niche. You're going to have certain factions within the fans that believe this, believe that. You're going to disappoint somebody. It's just going to happen.
But there's a difference between good
storytelling
storytelling and
all
rushed.
of that very conveniently.
I feel like a lot of these shows will rush the ending because they need to pump out the show before the material's actually written.
Yeah. But and you can blame George R.R. Martin, and I suppose I did, because
I blame him.
There were all these talks about he was going to catch up, he was going to line up with the show, he was going to basically write the show, and then all of that went out the window relatively quickly. But all the same, I think you don't have to be a genius to point out all the things that are wrong with something. And all you need is an overindulgent Hollywood executive type to be like, we're just going to retcon.
Yeah.
The next season, none of that happened. We're going to go right back to where we were at season 6 and redo it. And honestly, I feel like most fans would be like, yeah, that's fine.
Still waiting for them to do that on Star Wars.
Yeah. So which Star Wars do you think need that then?
The last one.
All of them.
I don't know. I thought the one with Luke wasn't the worst thing ever.
Go all the way back to the beginning. Let's get rid of Vader.
Oh, start over, like start from fresh. That's a thing I hate too, where you start over an entire thing and then don't use any of the same characters. It's just in the same world. Just make a new show at that point.
We go all the way back to episode 1, which is chronologically the right one.
Yeah.
You're following me? You following me? Who was a really important character that only existed in season 1
Jar
and
Jar
never
Binks.
again? Never
Jar
really.
Jar Binks.
No, Watto, the junk dealer,
The slave trader.
I think he's the real the Sith Lord.
I think you want a show about a slave trader, is what you're telling me.
Not in so many words, but Watto, a Watto show, a Watto centric universe. Yeah, I could get behind that.
I feel like Watto would have a talk show in the Star Wars universe.
He absolutely would.
He'd win it he'd like gamble it away from Conan O'Brien.
And I'm just being real. There's nobody with that sort of chubbiness of a body that can also propel themselves with 2 flimsy wings like he does. So that's some space magic right there. He's the Sith Lord, and that's what it is.
I feel like the wings are more like a bumblebee.
Stroking my dick. I got lotion on my dick right now. Love casting a spell.
Jeez.
Space wizards.
You
know what fucked up my week this week?
I don't.
Lettuce.
Lettuce fucks up every week for me. How did it do that?
Let me begin by saying...
Love it.
I'll start off by saying I go to Subway probably more than I should.
Yeah, I think everybody can agree with that.
And when I say that, what I mean is I'm going to Subway because we've reached a confluence in my life where I think Subway's too expensive, but we have coupons and I'm dieting and Subway kind of meets that need, right?
Yeah.
In my entire life going to Subway, and I've gone fits and starts at various times. I've gone more, I've gone less. Definitely in a spate where I'm probably doing it more than anywhere else. I've never seen someone put the lettuce on the sandwich last. And when I say last, I mean bread, meat, cheese, other vegetables, sauce, lettuce specifically last. But it happened to me the other day. And initially, as she was making it, I said to myself, that's a pretty decent idea. Now the sauce won't get everywhere. Except, dear listeners, it also meant that I just had a pile of flavorless lettuce atop my sandwich. Like the entire reason we don't just eat leafy green salads that are just plain, and we cover them with sauce, dear friends, is because lettuce like that sucks. But for some reason, despite it being unprecedented in any sandwich shop in the United States, I had my lettuce put on my sandwich last, and it's really gotten under my skin. And do you know why it gets under my skin, Steve?
No, I don't. What's up?
Because they're undermining our submarines. And the sound effect is... They're undermining our submarines with flavorless lettuce atop them.
Alex, during the last podcast, we asked you if you were a witch. Do you care to comment on that now?
No comment.
Pete.
Which witch? It's
There's
funny,
a
we
sandwich.
went from sandwich
That was the
to
idea,
witch
yeah.
to witch. Oh my God.
It's all a conspiracy in the end.
It really is the world order. Goddamn sound.
Yeah, you're not finding any of them. They're done today.
Do you go to, as a practicing witch, Alex, do you go to Coven every Friday? As is tradition?
Not Fridays, no.
No.
What day is the day of the coven?
You in one of the reformist covens?
It varies based on the moon.
Makes sense.
Reformed witches. See, we're staunch traditionalist Covenists over here. And
Isn't there a
so I'm proud
supermoon
to say
coming
my
soon?
family's. Oh yeah, I mean, there's a big service planned. Some sheep have already been shorn and ritually painted with camouflage to prepare for the great sheep tag.
What kind of camouflage? Forest camouflage? Desert camouflage?
Forest camouflage. It befits the natural environment. Of course, you'd understand. Like, I don't need to tell you this sort of stuff. But up here, there's obviously forests. So if we're going to be, expected to hunt these guys down, it's supposed to be a little bit of a challenge, before we adorn them with, gold and jewels in our mockery of Christ. Then it obviously is less of a challenge if we don't paint them to the natural environment. And so, but I was able to get a peek at what they were doing in the back of the coven. Man, They got some real good sheep this year.
August 1st, it was the supermoon.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yes, I think you might be on the other calendar. The super secret witch calendar is actually about a month off. So the supermoon's about, today.
I don't know much about that. Is the witch calendar close to like the Mayan calendar or any of that stuff?
It's almost exactly the same as the Mayan calendar, except, instead of being in Spanish, it's, Old English.
I don't think it's in Spanish.
There's some
Mayan.
There's some nuance you lose in the translation.
Can you imagine if like this whole time people have been translating stuff into their language, but it turns out that's totally wrong?
It's a totally wrong language. I mean, it seems possible, but it doesn't seem likely, right? Like there's only like one or two languages out there. I mean, Jesus spoke English.
Three tops.
Jesus carried English to the United States, which is also why, we're the chosen land. And after that, you definitely got some Spanish, you got some French in there. But other than that, what languages actually are there? That's the only three, guys. Like, no problem. A little bit.
Klingon.
I'm a little bit old school. I forgot my Klingon.
Klingon. No, you need Klingon.
Loktar Ogar brothers.
Yeah.
I think you can learn Klingon on Duolingo now.
Yep.
Can you?
That's not even a joke. Not only do they have Klingon, they also have Valerian. High Valerian. Like we were talking about King of Thrones earlier. Yeah, I just saw it on there. I was looking through Klingon.
This is IRL incredible to me.
That seems crazy to me. That I feel like Elvish from Lord of the Rings would be on there before Valerian.
Right. Yeah, that's my point. Because didn't Tolkien write an entire Elvish language, basically? And so
a book, yeah.
So it actually exists as a language. And to my knowledge,
right?
Did he do multiple?
He did elf, he did dwarf, and he did orc.
It's fucking crazy the extent to which that guy did to define the universe. But I don't think Roddenberry wrote all of Klingon, right? But the fandom, as it were, put it together.
That sounds more right.
So it's Valerian fan driven? Because I don't think did George R. R. Martin come up with the language? I don't want to short him.
I don't want to short him either, but
right.
He did write that shitty ending for the show, so maybe we do. Maybe he's earned it. Not enough people hate him.
No.
That being said, the other like 98% of that show was great. That's a lot.
I think
think of a comedy TV show. If you laugh at 98% of the episodes, that's already better than most stuff out there.
I'm with you. Yeah, and there was one redeeming episode that last season, in my opinion. The battle at Winterfell was pretty cool. There were some parts that made no fucking sense to me, but it was cool conceptually. But the rest of it was fucking garbage, and it just goes to show that you don't necessarily need to be a toxic fan to fucking hate a show.
Right?
You could just say, "No, that sucked," and it really did.
Yeah. It really did. Hey, Alex, quick question. Mm-hmm. Please explain the potato game to us.
It's my favorite game. Okay?
Mm-hmm. Tell us more.
And so you wake up on a farm.
Okay.
And you're attacked by these potatoes with little spindly legs. And you got to fight them.
That's terrifying. This is a horror game?
Yeah. No.
Survival horror.
It's more optimistic than that.
Survival horror. Okay.
Survivor horror?
Yeah.
Survivor horror.
Survivor horror. Gotcha.
Sure.
Okay.
Right.
Horror. So you fight them. And then you decide you need to get stronger, so you kill yourself and you're reborn again.
Wait, what?
Stronger.
Is that really in this game?
Yep.
Wow, blood magic.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Blood magic.
And then as you go along, you collect familiars that help you fight the potatoes.
And
it actually just made a recent update. Yeah, cats and dogs and this weird flying other potato that has a little stinger on it.
I'm sorry,
call him Jeffrey.
It's like a bee.
Jeffrey. No, it's a potato. It's a potato with bat wings.
Is he a
stinger?
Is he a class B potato? A lower class potato, a B class, B.
He's B class, yes. I suppose.
So how many potatoes have you killed in this game?
I have killed.
Does it number it for you?
It does number it for you. Let's see.
Game.
It is a very. I believe I've killed, and I hate the numbers on this game because it says I have killed 1 to E to the 257.
257? 257
like
zeros.
So, yeah, quite a few.
Wow.
I play this game quite a lot.
Wow. In the dystopian dark future, there is a blood god and he really hates potatoes. And I support it.
Well, you have to kill them so you can plant them. So you can eat them.
Wait, hold on.
Wait, why don't you just eat them as they are?
Right.
If they're potatoes.
Well, but they're alive and sentient.
But
that's why they're trying to get off the farm.
But I
don't get it.
So you kill them and then you plant them.
You kill them. You unalive them to bring them back to life.
You unalive.
Are you a necromancer?
I'm more of a lich.
Right.
Because my body dies and I come back.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. This sounds like a wholesome family game. I can't believe it isn't more popular.
What is this game called again?
It's very popular. This game is called Potatoes Against Farmer. I'm sorry, Farmer Against Potatoes.
Farmer Against Potato. It makes sense.
Farmer Against Potatoes. Okay,
wow. I mean, I am thrilled and excited to
It is a very exciting game.
Mass murder potatoes, to genocide potatoes, as it were, for what they did to the Irish back in the day. I think it's only fair.
Or what they didn't do, right? They didn't grow.
No, they didn't grow. They and then obviously, like, they're growing legs and trying to fight Alex and other people too. That's pretty terrible. There's a reason why we're going to murder the potatoes. We could just leave it there.
Indeed. It's public service.
Did they know there were different kind of potatoes back then?
Well, there would.
You mean like the Idaho potato?
There was no Idaho in like the medieval times, right? So when they were making potatoes and shit, did they know there were different potatoes, or did they just call like a specific potato?
This potato is red. This potato is purple. This one is brown.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, was there names, or were there like scientific names for them, or?
Yeah. They.
It's the kind of stuff that keeps me up at night.
No, no, they definitely were. It's a good question, Steve. They definitely did have scientific names for them. I think in the original Native American tongue, it translates to something like small purple potato and small red potato, and then big red potato, like that. So yeah, they definitely did have scientific verbiage around potatoes, and it actually only, as they got more people in, it obviously like expanded the lexicon a little bit, because then there became like really scientific names like brown potato, and then like blackish potato.
Solanum,
so amazing.
Tuberosum. Sounds like a spell.
Tuberosum?
Yeah, God bless you.
It's tuberosum. Yeah. I guess it's a nightshade.
The potato.
It's in the nightshade family, yeah.
Yeah.
A potato is considered a tuber. You're eating tubers.
Oh, they like going down rivers. You get all your friends together and you float down the river.
Mashed tubers, riding the tubers. Yeah. Well, my name is Steve.
And my name is Pete. And Alex, thanks for coming. You're welcome. Okay. Bye.